Follow socials, here's the way.
GurlTauX, every platform come to play. Catch our vibe, don't delay.
Facebook, YouTube streams, scrolling through your daily memes. GurlTauX show, don't miss out. Join the fun and see what GurlTauX is all about. Keeping it real, it's what we do. So tune in now and join our crew. Life's moving through the screen. Click subscribe, don't be mean. Upbeat chatter, it's our routine. GurlTauX show, don't miss out. Join the fun and see what GurlTauX is all about. GurlTauX is who we are. Come hang with us on your tablet, phone, or screen. Anywhere GurlTauX can be seen. GurlTauX show, don't miss out. Join the fun, see what GurlTauX is all about. Update stories, laugh and cry. It's GurlTauX, so don't question why. It's the show that you'll adore. Come back daily to get some more. GurlTauX show, don't miss out. Join the fun, see what GurlTauX is all about. GurlTauX is who we are. Come hang with us on your tablet, phone, or screen. Anywhere GurlTauX can be seen. GurlTauX show, don't miss out. Join the fun, see what GurlTauX is all about. GurlTauX, log in now, watch our show. Likes and comments, let them flow. Every day we're on our way. GurlTauX show is here to stay. GurlTauX show, don't miss out. Join the fun, see what GurlTauX is all about.
Hello, hello, hello. How is everybody doing today? We are here again live in the studio with our grandsons. Hello, hello, hello. And say hi, everybody.
Am I muted?
Hello. How are you going?
You're not muted now.
Yeah, but I was.
Good.
Which one is he?
I don't know. Can't even see.
Should I mute you?
Nah.
No, just mute Charles. Okay.
I haven't been talking.
I know he hasn't even said anything yet.
Yeah.
So how is everybody doing today?
Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful.
Did you have a good day?
I'm starving.
You're starving.
Starving Marvin.
Already starving. So far we have a I can't read the names, but Juju, hi.
Yep.
But I can't read the names because
You're blind.
I'm blind. I'm not really blind, but I might as well be blind when it comes to the screen. Is just
$500 glasses. You can't see anything.
the screen is just too far from my face.
Want me to read it for you?
Can you read it for me?
Yeah.
Wait, what did it even say?
She's not in yet. I can tell her. My cousin said hi.
Okay.
Hi.
Hi.
And then one of my friends named Jack said, yo.
Okay, that's
And
cousin.
then, yeah.
Cousin.
What's the name say on it?
Samuel Tyler. Tyler's his brother.
Oh, okay.
And then the other one is Main Event Edits.
Main event edits. Yeah, I'm not sure who that is.
Yeah.
Now that is
Jack.
I'm your boy Jack. Okay. So anyway, our show today is Family Legacy Stories from Service, Resilience, and Growing Up Strong. An interesting topic, and I kind of chose this topic when I do certain things. I do use AI a lot, so I use AI to say, hey, what would be a good topic to talk about? And our military service and our family legacy has a lot of military service in it. And so it came up with this as an idea and a thought. Now, it wasn't the one we were going to go with. We were going to go with a different one, but I had already prepped this one, so this is the one we're going with. We'll do the other one tomorrow. And that one is about building bonds, building relationships with your family, and what has been lost in the current generations with phones and families living so far apart. So that'll be tomorrow's show. So we're going to talk, frankly, how we feel about certain parts of things and what we feel, and ask some questions of each of us on how we have dealt with different things. But again, I'm Tori, I'm your host. Welcome everybody. We're here to talk about real life and the things that we've all gone through and our family legacies, and where we go into the future and how we use some of those things from our past to build the resilience and build the legacy that we have, and the legacies that we are continuing on with our own family legacies. Today we've got my wonderful husband, Steve, with us beside me right here.
Hello.
And we have our grandsons, Charles, who's almost 14, and Julius, who's 12. They are with us today, so we're going to talk about that. We're sharing stories from our military and service backgrounds across generations. My dad served in the Army. My brother is a Marine. My nephew carries that legacy too. Steve and his Marine service, and our son Sam, who's a Marine, and our other son who's in the Army. He's Army National Guard, but Army. Another son that we have that's also a Marine. So we have a lot of Marines in our family. Apparently, they all like to eat crayons, and we have an awful lot of small brains because they all fit their heads in the jar.
Green is the best flavor.
See, my dad and I went in the Army because we had more brains, and we just could not fit our heads in the jar. So
Got it.
we couldn't be jar heads. Huh? What? Huh? Okay. So, and Steve and I are honoring Sam as the boys' bonus dad. The boys call him Dad. Charles says sometimes, depending on his mood, in his own words. That was his own words, I asked. And this goes to a saying that's in the shop for Steve that I made, a really cool picture. I should have taken a picture of it to show. But any man can be a father, but it takes a special man to be a dad. It really does. Steve may not be Sam's bio dad, but he is his dad in every way that matters, including how Sam feels about him and how Steve feels about Sam. So, there is something to be said about those legacies and how you feel about somebody. It kind of can compound on the little bit of the discussion that we had about abortion yesterday. Adoption was brought up a lot. Does one feel less a dad to someone who has not got your blood?
Blood does not make a family. It is a portion that can be, but again, like with Sam, I met Sam when he was 16. I did not know him before that. Yeah, I didn't know him when they were
even the boys' age.
Right.
Yeah.
So it comes down to the fact that how you treat somebody, how you feel about them, how they treat you, the connections you make, the efforts you put in, that's what makes a family. Not necessarily just because you're a blood relative, just because you were, part of what made that child does not make you the family.
Well, frankly, there's an awful lot of families out there that are completely biological and they suck. They're horrible people to each other, to their kids, to their parents, to their families. I mean, I can't remember his name, that just recently was murdered by his son. Actor, producer, what's his name in Hollywood? Anyway, his son killed him. So
Right.
just because you're blood doesn't mean
Well, look at
it's
look at the Menendez brothers.
right.
They killed their parents.
And supposedly they were molested and
Right.
abused by their parents.
You know,
So blood doesn't mean you're not going to have hardship.
right.
And
That's not a guarantee.
Not having the blood doesn't mean there's something wrong with the family,
Right. There's no guarantee just because of
you can
blood.
build something. I heard somebody one time say that being adopted meant they chose me rather than they were stuck with me.
That's a good way to look at it too.
And that's a good way you can look at step parenting too, and we don't call it step parenting in our family.
It's a
been a
bonus.
kind of family legacy that it's a bonus parent or a bonus child, but they have to choose to want to be a part of your life. They have to choose to be your dad. They have to choose to be your mom. They have to choose to be their child or not their child. You have to choose to do that. And I think sometimes that's almost better because, and it doesn't mean it's always better either. I have an amazing parents. Steve had amazing parents.
Mm-hmm.
My parents were divorced, so I had bonus parents as well and siblings. But Steve did not. His
Nope.
parents were together over 50 years, almost 65 years. Well, I think technically they were like 70 years
Yeah,
together.
I don't know. They were
high school sweethearts,
Right.
but married wise. So there's a long history there. And, so there's something to be said about both sides of it. And you can have a totally different experience, good and bad. And just out of curiosity out there, can anybody tell us if you can hear us fine, if everything is sound-wise, if we're doing all right? Because I know we had a little bit of trouble yesterday with sound. I want to make sure sound is all good. If you guys see anybody chime in there, can you please let us know? But anyway, we're talking about the values that hold families together and hearing straight from the next generation. Did you know what was that? Oh, okay, never mind. Did you know regular conversations between grandparents and grandkids actually improve empathy, self-esteem, school performance, and even help reduce risky behaviors? Today, we're living proof of that. And one of the things that I think we have to think about, too, is in the common family. We'll be talking about this more tomorrow in tomorrow's show about not having the connections anymore. So many people live far apart and outside of other families, and they don't have those connections. We live in Alabama. The boys live in North Carolina. Then we have our son and his wife and children live in Texas. Another daughter and her husband that live in Texas. Another daughter and her husband who live in California now. And then another son who lives in Wisconsin and his wife and daughters. And then we have a son who lives in California with his wife and daughter and about to be a second daughter. And then we have a son who's in college in California. So we're pretty far spread
All over the
apart.
place, yeah.
And the joy is that we have a nice house and place where we could bring our grandsons or granddaughters in to stay. And like the boys are here for the summer, depending on when they get tired of us or we get tired of them.
Sick of it. Get me out of
Pack
here.
up and leave. Start walking. It's a long walk. So let's kick it off with quick intros. Steve, Charles, and Julius, say hi and drop one fun fact that some people may not know about you. Let's start with Steve. You can think about the question.
Okay, fun fact people might not know about me. Let's see. They know that I was a Marine. We've established all that. I was born and raised in Wisconsin, so I'm a cheesehead from birth. And
He's pretty cheesy too,
yeah,
guys.
that's true. That's
Really
true.
cheesy.
And I had not been back there in probably, well, for any period of time since before the year 2000, since before these guys were born.
Yep.
So there's a kind of a fun fact.
Well, actually, can I add to that fun fact, which I think is kind of cool? When we went back to Wisconsin, we went back to Burlington for your uncle's 80th birthday.
Yep.
And while we were there, we were out doing some roaming around, and Steve was showing me some of his old stomping grounds, and he took me to his childhood home where they grew up.
Yep.
They didn't sell the house till they were grown, and then they moved away from Wisconsin. And Steve had gone into the Marine Corps, and his brother stayed there, and he still lives in Wisconsin, and he still sounds like a Wisconsinite. Is that how you call it, Wisconsinite?
Sure.
Or cheesehead? He still sounds like a cheesehead. Brian, hi, Brian. So anyway, when we were there, now everybody knows I'm super shy.
Hold on.
Uh-oh. SpaghettiOs. Everybody knows I'm super shy, right? I have a hard time
absolutely.
talking to strangers or anything. So we're driving up to my husband's childhood home, and he's like, "See, it's right there." And I'm like, "Pull into the driveway. They're out there working on the yard." And he's like, "No, this is weird." And I'm like, "No, pull in." So we pulled in, and I talked to the homeowners, and I was like, "Hey, this is my husband's childhood home." And he was just showing it to me. And they were so nice that they were like, "Oh, well, do you want to come and look around and see what's changed and whatnot?" And you guys had a tennis court on your property, which they had turned into a pole barn and used the tennis court ground for their floor in the pole barn. And then you had this other really cool like barn garage thing. And it was actually the same people who had bought the house from his parents, and they remembered Tom and Ginger, and they had been in there ever since. And they discussed a few things with the property and a few things that had changed, and it was really neat. And they even walked us through the house, and a cool window that your mom had put in, or your mom and dad had put in, was still there, and the floor plan. And there was a few changes to the better, and a few changes that never happened, that kept it like it was at one point in time and gave you a little march back in time, really. How was that feeling for you going back in there after you, especially because this wasn't that long after losing your dad?
Yeah, it was cool to go and be able to walk back through the house and look at how the changes, and like I said, the changes that they made were slight. They were a little bit in the kitchen, a little bit in the one living room, but other than that, everything else was all the same. And it was pretty cool to be able to go back and walk through and to be able to look at some of the other changes out in the property, like the one there was some trees in the front yard and stuff like that from when I was young and that we had put in.
Oh yeah, that tree that you had planted.
Yeah, there's a plum tree. There was a plum tree that was put in.
Yeah.
It was something I had gotten when I was young, and it was a good sized tree. It was pretty cool.
All right, awesome. Now on to what happened to the camera. Are you slouched in your chair, or did you? No. Yeah, kinda, sorta. Because it was about to cut you completely off. So, Juju, tell us a fun fact about yourself and introduce yourself.
My name's Julius, and I have a very good green thumb.
A green thumb. Cool. What else you got? You got a green thumb. We've
Okay, what a fun fact about yourself that some people may not know. What's something fun about yourself that people don't know about you? Anything? You have stinky feet.
No.
No. You have stinky armpits. No. What? You love to swim, and he is like a fish. Okay.
I
Anyway,
like to drive stuff or
next
shoot stuff.
on to the hot spot is apparently.
The black.
The wrong camera.
Wrong
Camera
ca-
5,
wrong
not
camera.
4.
Oops.
The wrong camera.
Oh wait, hold on. Back to the next person. Go ahead.
Exactly.
Right. You'll obviously know my name. I'm the best.
Talk into your
what is your
camera.
name?
I mean, into your mic.
So y'all already know me. I'm like the best person.
You keep moving in and out of the mic, so gotta keep close to the mic, like I do.
You
I
gotta
got
just
you.
stay
Also,
there.
what's your name?
My name is Charles. You already know that because I'm the best. Things someone might not know. I play 4 sports.
You play 4 sports. What sports are those?
Baseball, soccer, pickleball, and basketball.
And basketball. And he likes basketball because he was all about what's happening on the game yesterday. He wanted to know. Yeah, it was pretty crazy, honestly. All he could say is, "Can I check the game? Can I check the game?" Yeah.
First and one.
Steve and I have lived full lives, and service runs deep in our family. I served 8 years in the Army. Steve served 12 years in the Marine Corps. I worked in law enforcement in Arizona as a paramedic, a volunteer firefighter, and we both volunteer for Team Rubicon. Steve fought wildfires and has served our country for over 30 years in total, in just retiring. My parents, my mom and stepdad, bonus dad, were diplomats with the Foreign Service. And my dad was in the Army. He served in the Korean War in combat. And my brother is also a Marine, and his son is a Marine. And my brother and Steve were both in Desert Storm. Thank all of them for their service. And our tradition continues with Sam, our nephew, Mitchell,
Julius.
our son,
Julius.
our son Garrett, my son Andy, and Julius wanting to in the future. And that can and might not change. Also, our daughter is married to a Marine as well. And Charles is saying, yeah, I want to do it too. So we're not the ones that will have an issue with our kids following in our footsteps. There are a lot of people that don't like that and don't believe in that. We've faced moves, challenges, losses, and triumphs. But through it all, family legacy has kept us grounded. Legacy isn't just last names or old story. It's the grit, the honor, the hard work, and love we pass down. I think that needs to be very important for our cubs and our grand cubs, as we call them. We want you to know where you come from, and you can confidently build where you're going. I think it's very important to know those things and build upon them. Strong family bonds help kids navigate school pressure. We talk about those things. We can talk about those things, and making sure that you are comfortable enough to talk to your parents, grandparents, whatever, and your siblings sometimes about those things. Peer pressure can be very hard. And this fast-moving world with AI, cell phones, and internet, and all the things, it's really easy to get lost in the mix of all of that. So we want to make sure that we leave a legacy and instructions on how to handle life as you go through it. That's why days like today matter so much. Having our grandsons here for the summer, being able to have those bonds and build with them, because some of my favorite and fondest memories are memories with my grandparents. And what do you think about having those stories that you get to hear or be a part of as you're growing up, boys?
I'm gonna let you.
Yeah, they're kind of a little camera shy on it today.
Okay, you, Steve. Just hold up your stick when you want to talk. Can you please put that in your ear and stop playing with it?
Could you repeat the question?
Can you turn the mic down?
Well, that's all you have to say. Thank you.
Well, I tried to, but
We told you.
Okay,
Which one am I
So-
on?
he's number 4.
Okay.
All right, so go ahead. Like Charles just asked you to repeat.
Oh,
what was your
repeat
question
the
again? Yeah.
question. So, building legacies and having those bonds and relationships and getting to have those times and learning stories and hearing stories, what do you find to be like your favorite thing that you're being able to experience as you're growing up? This being one of them, hopefully coming and spending the summer with grandparents and being able to bond with us and spend time with us. And, what do you think about that for the future and how it can help guide you and direct your paths?
So being here, you guys have like taught us a lot. He helped me like see that like AI can help code stuff. You helped me like use a lot of stuff, teach me stuff.
And we've just barely scratched the surface. I mean, honestly, the stuff that we have the ability to show you and teach you, and it may be good, may be bad, but Gam Gam and I, we're both the kind where it's like if you want to learn something, you need to be present, and that's something else that we're trying to teach you. That not everybody's going to ask you to get involved, and that's the way things work in the world too. Sometimes you have to be ready to jump in and
I think
be ready to go.
And I think in today's generation, there's an awful lot of just play on your games and play on your phone and do your thing and don't bother me and leave me alone and I'll do my thing and you do your thing and play your Xbox, your PlayStations, your phones, or do whatever, because I don't have time for that right now. And sometimes taking the time out, I don't know if you've noticed, I can be a little abrasive, right? But at the same time, when you ask a question, do I stop what I'm doing and come show you?
yeah.
I was going to say, I don't. Do I?
Yeah.
Do I help you? Well,
Yeah.
let's put it this way. Was I working on some big projects, but yet I stopped them to come show you how to do things?
Yeah.
Instead of saying, no, I can't do that right now. Go figure it out.
Yeah, the big thing is you're not always going to have us available or ready to jump at a moment's notice. I mean, we're still working on doing things, but we try to sit there and be there if you need us, so that way we can work on getting things done, but yet being able to show you some new tools or some new ways that you can do something in that. Like just before the show here, we were working to start putting up that handrail, so I just needed a hand from you for a minute. So we jumped up there and got things rolling. That way we can get that thing put in place. We'll keep working on adding more things and showing you more tools and more things that you can do. But again, you need to go and really ask us sometimes if there's something that you want to do that you don't, that we haven't showed you.
Yeah, that you want to learn. Yeah, absolutely. Because we're happy to show, teach, help. I think you guys have had a chance to play with some AI doing some of the creation stuff that I do, because I have ideas in my head and I can't draw them all out fast enough to get it, to put it into actual work. Whereas using a tool like AI as a tool, not just craziness, but as a tool, you can get 10 times more work done by using it the way that it helps you instead.
What you looking at?
I can't read that far.
I was reading something. See, this is an example of sometimes AI doesn't get things right. It gave me a joke, but the joke is not a joke. It's, Steve, remember when the boys were little and you tried teaching them Marine discipline and push-ups? Julius made it into flopped down and yelled, "I'm a Navy SEAL" on the couch.
Why would you do that?
Oh. Yeah, sometimes AI takes things
And
for
your
granted.
your response is supposed to be, "Hey, at least they learn persistence. They're pros at video games now," which is actually, that part's probably accurate. You're pretty good at video games, right?
Yeah.
Like most people, but that's a prime example of how like AI took it upon himself to add a little more into the story. So as I'm reading it, I'm laughing, and laughter keeps us strong. Steve, what's one of your favorite memories with the boys that show that Marine spirit?
Let's hear it.
Yeah.
Oh.
None?
Not yet, but playing Reveille for them in the morning on the speakers.
That's pretty good.
That's a pretty good start.
Are you guys enjoying
I
that
just told
part?
Google. I just unplugged Google.
Yeah. We
If
just
you do
unplugged
that, I'm going to be very upset with you,
Well,
because that is how we communicate with each other in this big
we-
property.
Plugged.
No,
Also,
no.
text message.
Oh, as if a text message is going to wake you up when you're sound asleep.
No, yeah, that's and
Reveille will.
and you do realize that if you unplug it so that you don't get bothered by it, I will come down here and plug it back in. And do you know what my dad used to do? Oh my God. And I will totally do it to you. Unplug Google and see what wake up is like. My dad used to not, I wouldn't call it waterboarding, but it was water dripping. And my dad used to come and stand right over the top of me with a wet rag and let it just drip, drip,
Drip.
drip. And at some point you're like, what the hell? And then you wake up and he's standing over you with a, towel or whatever. Well, you do get up. That's for sure. I know that much.
Yeah.
All right, let's get into the real talk. Steve, share some stories about service, moves, and building the business that we have and Vic's Ranch.
I give a lot of credit to my military service, being in the Marine Corps. What it taught me from day one of boot camp through graduation, drive, determination, not giving up on yourself, realizing that there is a team that you need to go and maintain and you need to work with to get things going and stuff like that. I was fortunate. I had a really good job as far as the Marine Corps goes. I was a firefighter, so I worked on the flight line. We always said that it was the worst part is when you actually had to physically do your job because somebody was getting hurt. Somebody was in a bad place, most likely. If an aircraft actually crashed and you were out there to actually deal with that. So we always said that was the worst part about it. I did have several pieces that I had to experience and stuff like that. That was kind of rough. But the overall drive and determination that I learned has really helped and really moved things forward as far as what we're doing now.
Okay. Question, and this is kind of for everybody. What does family legacy mean to you? Have you ever thought about what family
what that...
stories have you heard that really stick with you? What family legacy? What does that phrase mean to you?
What's that, Jules? You wanna read
You want to think about that for a
You
second?
understand what a legacy? Legacy is basically something that's been handed down, from generation to generation. So, legacies can be where, you have a legacy of service within the military, or you have legacy of I'm not sure what.
I'll show it.
Okay. But, so I've had lots of people who were able to provide, me education and training. My dad taught me to weld. My dad taught me a lot of things. My mother was a very proud and very dedicated business professional. So there's lots of things that were done from my family that have provided, a lot of, or it's instilled a lot into me to make things strong and give me, a direction and guidance in that.
Well, I look at this picture that I am showing right now, and that's my dad and
My youngest daughter.
and his youngest daughter, my bonus daughter, Mackenzie, with her pops. And ironically, she called your dad Pops and my dad Pops because my dad was already Pops and your dad was already Pops. But what I look at in that picture is a legacy that reminds me of where we come from and where we're going. And he had a love for her and she for him, and he would cover her with grease and they would have fun and it really enjoyed each other's company. And his legacy is from the military, but also building engines and building things and race cars and engines. And it taught me something, and it's what has grown into the legacy of what has created Vic's Ranch, our nonprofit for veterans and first responders, is in my dad's name. Now, granted, we call it the Vic's. Vic's Ranch stands for because of course it's got to be an acronym, Veterans Independent Connected Support Ranch. And it's to remind everybody that veterans all need to be independent on our own, but we're all connected and we all should have support. So that's the whole point behind it. But we named it that because of my dad. And my dad is Victor. My mom is Victoria. My stepmom was Vicky. And I'm Tori, short for Victor and Victoria. Therefore, we were always called the Vics. So the Vics is a legacy. So we didn't just name it Vic's Ranch because of my dad. We named it Vic's Ranch because of the legacy of my family. And that's where it started. So having that, we built on those different things. And legacy also to me means that you can build new legacies. You can build new bonds. You can build new families, because for the boys, we've only been in your lives for 3 years. Well, you were here 2 Christmases ago. So going on 3 years.
Yeah, 2.5. About 3.
So, it's still new, but not like yesterday,
Yeah.
not last week, but still new. And we're still building that bond. We're still building those relationships and stuff. And what does that mean to you guys? Man, you two are so quiet. Chirp, chirp,
I
chirp.
This. Oh, wrong.
Uh-oh, here we go.
Wrong.
What? She's got the voice changer going.
It
This sounds like her normally, by the way.
somehow doesn't change. You guys hear me the same?
Yeah, it's
Oh,
the
we
same
still
way,
hear you.
the same
Yeah.
way you've been talking the entire stream. I don't
Oh,
think it changed.
Yeah.
They're messing with you.
oh, you,
Why would you say
I
that?
hear you so great.
oh, that's rude.
Oh, it's working now. I can hear your voice.
I don't appreciate that.
I hear
It's
you
fixed
now.
now.
Okay, let me see if I can get it back to normal.
It is now.
Sound.
It's
Okay.
normal now.
Normal
That'd be
sound.
so
Normal
funny.
sound.
You're talking like that the entire stream.
I don't think so.
That
No.
would have been hilarious.
Okay, so anyway, what does that mean to you guys, though, for real? Like, having a relationship with family, does it mean something to you? Is it important to you? Do you care? Do you not care? Having a dad, then grandparents that are involved. How do you feel about any of that? Do you feel anything at all? Anything at all?
No emotion
I,
to that
do
at
feel-
all.
I feel like it's important.
For why? For the why.
Because
Yeah, why? Not just because.
Just
Why?
because. For the why.
we're here to support each other.
Yep. All right. Anything else?
Anything else? Stop looking at me. Look at your camera.
Nah.
Nah. It's one thing.
Nah.
Well, support, is always important, but I mean, are there other things that are out there that, if you think about it, do you think that being here might give you a chance to learn something that you wouldn't otherwise have a chance to learn or experience?
Oh, 100%.
Yeah.
Or
Right.
or have a lifelong bond with somebody that you probably wouldn't have had if you saw us once a year or once every couple of years.
Yeah, I mean, if you think about it, and you only came here once a year, say you came here Christmas time, would you?
Or every other.
Yeah, would you really have a connection or be like?
Not at all.
Exactly. So that's kind of what we're asking is, how do you see your opportunity to come here and spend the summer? Do you see it giving you a chance to make a bond and possibly make some memories and
think about that legacy.
and stuff like that?
Yeah.
The making a bond part, I feel like it's 50-50 because at the same time, I'm making bonds with you guys, but at the same time, I'm also losing bonds.
Losing with who?
Like, some of my friends back at North Carolina.
Okay, so there's some people that you don't get to spend the time with because you're spending time with
Are
here.
you actually losing bonds or just losing some time with them? Because I like losing a bond means like when you come back, they're like
like peace
buzz
out.
off.
They're
I
like,
don't want to see
they're like
you.
peace
or
out.
talk
I
to
don't
you.
want to. I don't
You
want
know
to see you or
what I'm
talk to you
saying?
anymore.
Like, is it actually losing bonds or just losing some time, some fun times that you could have had, or some memories?
I feel like a little bit of both.
Okay.
Okay, you feel like it's a little bit about okay. That's fair. Because not everything is always going to be the way you think it's going to be, and of course, there's always trade-offs when you do one thing versus something else. There's always going to be those trade-offs. It's never perfectly one way or another. I know that's a factor that's always there. Steve, how has being a dad to Sam shaped the way you show up for the boys?
Ooh.
I think that, since being introduced to Sam and being, being there for Sam when he's needed some guidance or needed some answers or
Well, and let me jump in real quick. Kind of a little backstory is he basically really never had a dad at all. So you were the first dad he ever had. So that also adds to the dynamics.
right. So, I mean, because of that, I make that effort to be there and it tells me that I need to, or it doesn't tell me, but it shows me that, what I did to help Sam, I think has definitely benefited the boys because Sam, by what I was able to do with him and show him, was able to be something that Sam turned around and I think he can show the boys, is that you don't have to
He
be
knows
blood.
what it means.
You don't have to be blood in order to be a dad. By him getting the attention and getting the benefit of being with somebody, being close to somebody, it's something that he realizes that it's something that you should do if you come into the situation which he has, where he married into a family. There were already children there, and you're able to make that connection, and it's important to make that connection and make the most of it, not just be
Right.
there, but actually be involved.
Right. So, boys, what do you remember or what do you think about Sam's service in the Marine Corps or the time that you have that makes you proud?
Paul doesn't answer it a lot. I'm going to let him answer.
Both, come on, guys.
Okay, so we're going to move along. Boys, what responsibilities do you have right now, and how do you prepare for the future?
My responsibilities right now is helping with Katie and Ava, making sure she's safe.
Okay.
I don't even like you.
Yeah, true that.
Okay. So what else? Charles, what are some of your responsibilities? You know, I know you're back at home, you're mowing, you do lawns and stuff like that. What else? What other responsibilities do you have?
Same ones. Helping Mom with Katie, helping around the house.
Okay. All right.
Okay, so guess what time it is?
Time to go.
I
time
think
to
it's
go eat.
Dear Margaret time.
Yeah, it's Dear Margaret time. So here we go. Why is it not?
I can hear it. It's going.
Oh, you can. I can't hear it.
Can't?
We'll help you with your coping, dealing with life in this rat race. Honest thoughts, no sugar coating.
Tell us your tales, your woes, your gripes. No fluff, no bows, just real life types. Sign it clever, let your pen take flight. We'll serve the truth, sharp and bright.
Send us a query, take a lead. No hidden rules, no secrets to keep. Anonymous wisdom that cuts so deep. Dear Margaret's advice you'll want to reap. But in the end, let's admit we all really don't care, Margaret.
All right. So we have our first question for Dear Margaret. And I have the wrong camera on. Sorry. Let's go into a couple questions here from Dear Margaret. And let me tell you, there are quite a few people out there that wonder about their own legacies and what they can and cannot do, and where they can go in the future, what their past has been. So, question, Dear Margaret, do you have a question for Dear Margaret? Anybody? Oh,
Okay.
I'm
There we
sorry.
go.
They're all on mute.
All right. My question towards Dear Margaret would be, you know, is a family legacy something that you try to build, or is a family legacy something that should just naturally happen? I mean, how do you actually build a family legacy? What's
Especially with a extended family or a put together family from two different families, you know. I think that's a good question, because my family's legacy and my family's history is new to like the boys. And so they have to learn some of those things, like Nana last night at dinner telling you boys about how she was a pilot and stuff like that. Now, did you know that already before?
No.
Okay. What did you think about that?
It was pretty cool.
Okay, let me show you a picture. I want you to tell me what you think about this picture I'm going to show you. Now,
Yep.
I'm so loud.
Well, hi.
So the big thing is, I mean, again, like we said, you know, Nana was a pilot.
What plane is that?
One that flies, I don't know.
Look at
Look at
the
the
symbol. Look at that symbol that's on there. What's that symbol say?
The president's plane?
Yes, the president's play. So that is Air Force One. So your Nana upstairs literally
Has been on
has
Air Force
been
One.
on Air Force One and has been up that close and personal with Air Force One, which is not an easy thing to do.
So
Not,
for anybody that's not sure, that is my mother, and that is Air Force One.
yep. So I mean, again, you know, Nana flew. She flew multiple different planes. She was an instructor pilot. She was a member of the 99s, which was the beginning, a women's organization, which was the beginning of female pilots. And she was a member of that because, again, she was one of the first, and she was like almost the first in California.
Northern California, or in California,
for
rather.
an instructor.
Instructor and commercial airline pilot. This is a picture of my dad racing with one of his race cars.
That was
So-
out on the salt flats.
That is part of a legacy you have joined.
Yeah.
Is this family that has a lot of different things that they've done. Anyway, so dear Margaret, I just wanted to ask a question and throw that out there. Dear Margaret, I'm 13 and my family is always busy. How do I get my grandparents to talk more about their old stories? And I'm going to add to that question because the rest of that question would be my question is, are the kids today interested in their grandparents' stories? That part's for you. Are you interested in your grandparents' stories? Or are you like, I should stop talking?
I am.
Yeah.
You're interested?
What about you?
Are there any specific stories that you would like to hear about? I mean, do you want to know about time in the desert from being in Desert Storm? I mean, that was before you were even born. You know, my son right now just got back from Iraq, where he was over there. He was actually
Kuwait.
in Kuwait. You know, and he literally just got back. What, last
3
week?
days ago.
Last
week.
last
but
week. I mean,
He's technically not even home yet.
no, he hasn't
He's
even.
still in out processing.
Yeah, he's still out processing and stuff like that. So if there are things that you want to know about history,
sorry.
you know, what it was like, you know, being in the Marine Corps when I was in, and you can kind of see if there's differences comparing it to what you're seeing or what you're hearing with Sam being in.
Yeah, there's different things you can learn from different people. That's for sure. So, with hopeful curiosity was her sign off. But how do you get your family to talk more? Ask questions. That's all you have to do is say, "Hey, tell me a story about good old days. Tell me a story about when you, like for our family, when you were flying. Tell me stories about fighting fires because, you know, Papa was a firefighter." Ask questions, even if it's small things that you don't know that they might know. Hey, I know you're from here. Have you ever been to a Packers game? Whether you hate the Packers or not.
They're not big fans of the Packers, but
Yeah, exactly. So it's ask questions.
Chief, shut up.
You know, ask questions and you can learn from them. Next question. Dear Margaret, my grandpa was in the service. Should I join too, or is it too scary nowadays? And is that following a legacy? Should I follow it because he was in, or should I follow my own path? Respectfully questioning future Marine. I'm going to leave that to the Marine to answer that one.
I will tell you this. There's an honor and there's a pride that you get with being able to earn that title of Marine. Again, it's something never given. It's always earned. But again, if it's not something that you have a desire for, it can be very difficult. You can put yourself into a tight spot where you may not actually really, you may have a hard time getting through it.
Can I add to that as well? I think following the footsteps of somebody else solely because they did it first is the wrong reason.
Right. I agree.
I think the important thing to do is if you fall in love with it and you stay falling in love with it, then and you have to think about the actions that go with that. There are organizations you can join, like Young Marines. There are one that's in the Navy. I think they're called Sea Cadets. There is Pathfinders.
Yep.
That's more of a religious organization, but there's Boy Scouts, Girl Scouts. There are things that you can join, ROTC in all high schools.
Right.
And when they show you what the regiments are and the things that you have to do, shining your boots and wearing your uniform and being prepared and how you have to talk and act and behave, if you learn as you're doing that, this is not for me, then don't join just because your dad was, or just because your grandpa was, or just because your mom was, or whoever, whatever, because just following it for those reasons, I think that you will get there and find that you are in the totally wrong space and you will not thrive, nor will you thrive after you leave that service. I think you will be more subjected to having some very difficult times after you leave that service. And I don't think that you should ever join the military to get out of a bad family situation. I think that you should because then you don't have a support system while you're in, and you don't have a good support system when you get out. And those are very key factors to the high rate of suicide with veterans. Is because they don't have a good support system. So if you don't have one prior to going in, I don't think that's the answer. And I also don't think going in the military just to get an education is the right answer either. So there's several things with that one.
Yeah.
On to the next question. Dear Margaret, I love video games, but my grandma says I need more real world stuff. Who's right?
Your grandma, she's a bum.
A bomb.
Pixel power, but open, tech savvy tween. So is the grandmother right, or is the kid right, or are they both somewhat?
They're both somewhat right.
Okay, well,
Both somewhat
give me some guidance or some reasoning for that. So it's not just that they're both right. Okay?
So I've said it to you, and I'm sure you had your first feelings when I said I don't believe in a lot of video game time.
I got this.
Go ahead.
So for kids,
Let Charles go.
for kids, I've made a lot of I've had a lot of my best memories playing video games.
Okay.
It's also helped me with my social anxiety.
Okay.
And I'm gonna let Jill say something.
Some games like Call of Duty and other stuff, those type of games can help you with your reaction speed and
Reaction time.
reaction time.
But can it also
Okay.
have a negative effect? Like
can.
where you can have lack of social skills because you're only on the internet, not in person. Like how you act. And I'm not meaning that you're not interacting with people, but there is a difference between interacting with people online and interacting with people face to face. Because you wouldn't say certain things in somebody's face as you would online. So I think there's benefits, there's pros and cons on both sides. And I think there is a space for a happy medium between them. Maybe not the same rules I had when Sam was kid, because times have changed a bit. And also not trying to bring our grandsons here and totally change their rules. So if you noticed, I gave you the rule and then I have not asked at all. I have not asked when you've been on your game, when you haven't been on your game, because frankly, I don't really care. I just want you not to be, that's all you're doing.
Yeah, the big thing here is we're not here to sit there and say that what you do back at home is
Right.
not going to be allowed here. That's not it.
Right.
You know, but at the same time, we've got some space out
We
here.
want interaction
Yeah,
as well.
We have some space. We have the pool table, which you guys had. You guys used like crazy this last
Played
weekend.
with me till like 12.
till midnight. You and I were playing pool, and we've got the pool, so you can actually go
I
go
beat him,
for
by the way.
yeah
Yeah,
one
and swimming,
game.
swimming,
You
swimming.
can swim. So we think that just video games. Yeah, you're right. It can help you hand-eye coordination
There's
because
also
you're
down
trying
things.
to. What's that?
There's also down effects.
Yeah,
Right.
there are.
Spending time with your family.
Right.
and losing some social skills, gaining some, but also losing some. You know,
Right.
so you have to find that happy medium, I think, between the two. Okay, we only have like 2 more questions. Did you have something to add?
Yeah, it could also like help you make friends because like it can help you relate.
Yeah, because
with
there's some people that have a very difficult time making friends or talking to strangers. And I don't mean like weirdos. I mean like somebody you don't know, but making you feel a little more confident because it might come up in just a game situation where they're like, "Oh, that was a bad move. That was pretty cool. I don't know the lingo. Sorry, whatever." But they could be like, "That was a really cool move you did. Where are you from?" "Oh, I'm from here." And now you guys, we've already talked about, yes, we talk about the being aware of who's online and not talking to weirdos and how to detect the weirdos. That's for a whole nother show.
Safety.
Huh?
What's the next thing? Online safety.
Yeah, that's going to be the next one of the next shows. Dear Margaret, sometimes I feel pressure to be perfect at school and sports. How do I handle it like my family did? And how do I handle it when it's my family putting the pressure on me to be perfect?
I'm gonna go for the sport part. I'm gonna let you guys go first.
Okay.
No, I think you should
hit the
go
sport.
first.
Hit the sport piece. Yeah.
Uh-huh. Me?
Yeah.
You shouldn't feel pressured. I mean, I'm also pressured by sports, but it's completely recreational.
Okay.
You're not playing in like huge leagues. Unless you're playing in like giant leagues, there's no reason to be pressured.
Okay. So now I've got a friend that I used to work with, before I retired, and his son was a pitcher. I mean, he was in high school
Yeah, for
baseball. Yeah, for school, not for a recreational league or whatever, but actual for the school team. And you can tell sometimes when the focus is perfection at what you're trying
All
to do
costs.
with the sport.
Everyone's eyes are you.
Right. So there are people who kind of go to the extreme. Do you think it's justified? Do you think it's right sometimes that, people are really focused on the perfection of that position that you're playing? Or do you think there should be just, back off and let them do or
Enjoy
let them
the
not
game.
do?
Let them enjoy the game.
Well,
Okay.
yeah, I think it can get to a point where it's no longer fun. And when you're pushed so hard for perfection that it is no longer fun. And the other aspect of that where the kid starts feeling like you're trying to gain something you missed out on or you lost, and they're trying to live it through them.
Julius, go ahead.
I feel like you should push a little bit for perfection.
Push a
Like
little bit.
Small.
Yourself,
To be
though,
good,
right?
not
So-
perfection.
Now,
Yeah, so-
do you think the difference though is between you pushing yourself for more perfection than a parent like expecting and there's nothing but perfection. So you have to do that or they aren't happy with you. You're not okay. Do you know, because there's some kids that you know what I'm talking about, right? Their parent, you have to do this way. You have to be perfect. Yeah. And the kid no longer even has a passion for it. You can't, and that can go in any field. Cooking, you can love to cook, but if you're pushed too hard, at some point you go like, I don't want to do that anymore. And I think anybody can go through that. So you're talking more pushing yourself to your extreme, not necessarily the parent pushing you.
Yeah.
what I think it kind of goes hand in hand. It's right. It's not the parent pushing them, but the parent supporting them.
Right. I think
So
there's a
that's-
difference between pushing and supporting.
So I mean, because to me, if you came to me and said, I need to learn this because this is what's going to be my
I wanna
end
get
goal
better at
in
this.
life. This I want to get better at this. Supporting you in that I think is
Like,
different.
I love this game. Say baseball. You like baseball. You love baseball. I'm really good at baseball to a degree, but I really want to get better at my batting. Can you help me learn how to bat better? And there's a difference between, sure, I can help you bat better, and then making that kid sit at this batting cage
batting
for
cage
6 hours.
yeah, right.
Like, you're going to not leave here till you hit a perfect score.
Right.
I think that's the difference. And that's what you need to think about, is you don't need to be pressured into being perfect at school or sports. And a lot of different generations were really pushed to do that. So I think that is a conversation that needs to be had. If a kid is feeling like, hey, I feel like I'm being pressured to be perfect, and it's causing me anxiety, it's causing me stress, it's causing me to have real dislike and anger towards this game I once loved to play.
Right.
And I think that can go into any, band, choir, cooking. It can go into anything that you can do. That is an absolute true thing. Dear Margaret, what's the best way to make my family proud as I grow up?
What do you think, Julius? What do you think it means? What do you have to do in order to make your mom proud of you?
Do something with your life.
Accomplishing something.
Okay.
Okay.
What
do you think? Got one answer. What do you think?
I'd say like doing something with my life. Don't just waste it.
Okay.
Okay.
I think the most important thing is something that Steve and I say to all of our kids: grow up and be happy.
I have said,
if you are doing a job that makes you happy, you have a wife and children that make you happy, if you are happy with your life and the job that you've chosen to do, this trade you've chosen to be in, the skills you've chosen to learn, the sports you've chosen to play, striving to do the best you can do for yourself and being better than yourself yesterday. Matthew McConaughey has a great line that he said, and he was asked, who is his hero? If you were asked who's your hero, who could you pick?
Mother.
Okay.
your mom. Okay.
Myself. I'm
That-
kidding.
Absolutely. That is the best answer that you can have. Do you know why? Okay, that's exactly Matthew McConaughey's answer. My hero is myself tomorrow. Always strive to be better than you were today, tomorrow. Because you can never catch tomorrow. Because tomorrow is always coming. So if you are better tomorrow than you were today, and your goal is to be better than yourself tomorrow, tomorrow never comes, so you're always striving for better. Yeah.
The main thing is to sit there and realize that
You're always chasing yourself, is what that means.
and you're always chasing the perfect you.
Yeah.
You know,
In your own mind.
It's not for someone else to try and chase. It's for you. It's your goals, it's your desires, your drive, your dreams, and chasing those because it's something important to you. So that's a huge piece, is to be able to go and chase that. So
Yeah.
I understand, yourself tomorrow.
All right. Well, that is it for our show. Thank you so much for being here. What an incredible conversation, Charles and Julius. Yeah, you can participate a little bit more, but that's okay because I know that you're nervous and you're uncomfortable because this is weird.
Camera shy,
All that thing. But just pretend the camera's not there. That would be one helpful way. That's
Okay.
they
Point-
just corrected
point-
that one.
Point made.
But I'm proud of you guys, and I'm going to finish that part off. I'm proud of you for always trying. Even if you're not perfect, I don't expect perfection. I'm not perfect. I can't expect that from you. There was only one perfect being on this earth, and that was Jesus Christ, and he died for our sins so that we could be saved. And with that, we will always be sinners. We will always have imperfections. We will not always be our best. So we can always strive for better within ourselves. And I say, whenever you are struggling, say a prayer. You know, talk to God like he's your friend and say, I'm struggling right now. Please help me with whatever it is that you need help with, or, you know, something you're dealing with in your own mind or whatever it is. But I think it's really great. Until next time, we will see you, and stay strong, stay real, have your family, be a part of a family, be participating with your family, leave a legacy, and share this with your families. Until next time, stay real, stay strong, and hug your loved ones. Good night. Thank you so much, and have a great day.
Thank you for watching GurlTauX live broadcast, which airs weekdays at 9 a.m. Central Standard Time.